Well, Atlanta Falcon fans, that's the NFL draft, man. I'm gonna give y'all my draft grades right quick. And I think the Falcons had a very solid draft. It started off great in round one, and they just continued with the theme. And they stuck to their word, man. They went mostly defense. They did draft the offensive tackle with the last pick at 218. But let's get into this thing right quick, and I'm not gonna hold y'all very long. First pick, Jaylen Walker out of Georgia, linebacker, edge rusher. This guy's a heat-seeking missile. He can drop back in coverage. I think he's going to be a versatile piece for the Falcons, playing middle linebacker, outside linebacker, and being an edge rusher. Um, he's one of the better athletes in this draft as well. I see a lot of fans weren't happy about this pick, but Jaylen Walker offers versatility. And as I told y'all, he's one of those linebackers with the way mobile quarterbacks are in the league these days. He's one of those guys that's going to be able to spy these fast quarterbacks. He's going to be able to keep up because a sideline to sideline guy does not come along very often. But you talk about a guy that can set the edge, has the speed to make up space. And Jaylen Walker could be an Atlanta Falcon for a very, very long time. And Troy Anderson, I think his time's getting short for him, man. The injuries have caught up. And I think adding Jaylen Walker to this linebacker room, getting us more versatility as far as using Caden Ellis as a pass rusher a little bit more, and instead of dropping him back in coverage, which he needs help with, but I think he's a bona fide edge rusher at the end of the day. But adding Jaylen Walker, man, the defensive coordinator, Jeff Ulbrich, can scheme up a lot of plays where he can use Caden Ellis or Jaylen Walker or James Pierce as an edge rusher, as the edge rushers, or he can have those guys all three on the field at the same time, maybe on third down and third down and long when you have to put pressure on the quarterback. But I like the Jaylen Walker pick, man. Very, very solid pick, and I think it was the right pick. Let's go to the second pick of the first round, pick 26. They took James Pierce Jr. out of Tennessee. Now, I've seen analysts like Kyle Hurd dogging this pick, talking about, off the field issues. He was probably not one of the better edge rushers. But just remember, just last year, this guy was probably named a top five pick had he come out last year because he put up those kind of numbers. At Tennessee, 17 and a half sacks the last 2 years with the Tennessee Volunteers. Look, he can get after the quarterback. He's 6'5", I think, long arms, plays with a lot of strength. A guy that has, takes good pursuit angles. And I think with this pick, I think Arnold Ebiketie writing is on the wall, or is going to put pressure on him to perform because he's on a contract year. Still have Zach Robinson, Malone. You got Braden Trice coming back. And remember, Braden Trice at the University of Washington, he had one of the better pass rush win rates in college football his senior year. So you add Braden Trice to this edge rushing core. Then you added veteran Leonard Floyd, who's going to give these guys a little bit of motivation, get them a little bit, teaching them a little bit about being a professional and getting after the quarterback. So I think the Leonard Floyd signing it was excellent as well because he's going to rub off on all these younger guys and help them up their game. So I think James Pierce was the right pick. So they traded up for James Pierce, man. They had to give up a first rounder next year. And I really didn't mind it because, honestly, you got to go for the win right now, and Terry Fontenot knows that. So James Pierce, a trade, he did come at a cost, and I'm not mad at all. But let's get to the next pick. It was no surprise either, man. You look at Xavier Watts as one of the better defensive backs in this draft. And I'm actually surprised that he fell that far, man, because he was a guy that could have been a lock for the second round. But again, things happened, and he wasn't such as high on a lot of people's board as we thought. But the Falcons got a steal right here, man. This was pick number 96. They did move back up with a trade with the Eagles, and they gave up a fifth-round pick next year. And I'm not mad at that because, as we say, fifth through seventh round, mainly developmental players, you do find gems every now and then. but that's just a chance you got to be willing to take. But you talk about a guy, a former wide receiver who transformed into a linebacker in his second year at Notre Dame. Then he switched to safety, and that's when the light clicks. You talk about a guy that had 13 interceptions back to back, 7 one season, 6 the next. So you talk about a guy that's always around the football. He has great instincts. He's a zone safety, and he can play in the box. So you talk about versatility being key to his game. I thought it was an excellent pick because we don't know what's going to happen with DeMarco Hellman coming back from injury, and Jesse Bates has one more year left on his deal after this year. So if they need Watts to step in at free safety or strong safety, he can do that. And you talk about instincts. This guy is one of those guys. So look for this kid to be flying over all over the field. And another thing, a added bonus, he's also a special teams ace. So when you talk about being a special teams ace, that adds another element to his game. So Xavier Watts with the 96th pick via trade with the Philadelphia Eagles. Let's get to day 3, man. Billy Bowman. This was kind of a surprise pick to me because they had already taken the safety. Just like I said with Watts, but Billy Bowman brings those same instincts as far as being one of those guys who's instinctive. He's a little bit on the small side, but he's a ball hawk. 4.42 speed. He also had a good amount of interceptions, had 11 in 3 years. So he's always around the football. And if you know there's a trend here, the Falcons are trying to get guys that have a nose for the football, ball hawks, force turnovers. And as a defense, that's what you're supposed to do. If they forced more turnovers last year, I felt like it could have turned their season around or made their season just a little bit better, and they did play pretty good once somebody took over the defense those 4 games. But those last 2 games, when Jimmy Lake took over, same old thing. So scheming is everything. And I think with these last 2 picks that are safeties, these guys are versatile. You'll see one at safety, one at nickel. And I think that's what Billy Bowman is going to play. He's going to play more of a nickel role in this defense. And honestly, I actually kind of like that. So Billy Bowman was picked 118 out of Oklahoma. And another safety, not mad at that pick. Final pick, Jack Nelson. And y'all don't know, if y'all been watching my channel, y'all know I love the Wisconsin offensive lineman, man, because when you get a Wisconsin offensive lineman, you know you're going to get a certified offensive lineman. Jack Tipman went to the Jets last year. He was one of my favorite offensive linemen last year, but he ended up going to the Jets. But they get Jack Nelson, whose father actually was an offensive lineman drafted by the Arizona Cardinals, the Phoenix Cardinals back then in 1989. But Jack Nelson is 6'7", 315 pounds. You talk about size. He has agile feet, plays with power, leverage. He's a pretty good pass protector. I think that's the strength to his game. But we all know with Dwayne Leffert, he's going to be up to par when it comes to running the foot, being a run blocking tackle. So this pick actually made sense because Storm Norton, Caleb McGarry, they need somebody behind them, and they need somebody to back those guys up and rotate. But Jack Nelson, he probably can play swing inside the guard if they want him to, or he can be a backup to Jake Matthews, so he can be a reserve for both tackle spots. But 6'7", 315 with nimble feet, you can't find that all the time. He's a pretty damn good pass blocker. But like I said, with Dwayne Leffert, he's going to get him up to date when it comes to the run game, and I think he'll fit right in because Wisconsin linemen, they're known for run blocking because he had a guy, not last year, but 2023, named Braden Allen, who was running behind him, and he made a lot of pathways. So I think Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier is going to like this guy. But those are the Atlanta Falcons 5 draft picks for the 2025 draft. And my draft grade for these guys, I dropped it during the video, so y'all see my draft grades for the Atlanta Falcons. And well, those are my NFL draft grades for the Atlanta Falcons 5 draft picks. You saw them as I was talking, and those were the draft grade. I gave y'all the overall grade at the end, and that's it. that is the draft grade I give the Atlanta Falcons. And y'all tell me what y'all think. Give me y'all draft grade for the Atlanta Falcons. Don't be too tough on them, man. I think they did a great job this year. They stuck to their word going defense, but they did go offensive line with that last pick. And the undrafted free agents are on the way. So we'll see who the undrafted free agents are. I will keep y'all in touch with that. Y'all keep those comments coming and keep pressing that like button. Keep subscribing, man. I'm trying to get to 20,000 in due time, and with y'all help, I can get there. But this your boy, Antoine Smith, giving y'all Atlanta Falcons draft grades. I'll talk to y'all soon, man, with those undrafted free agents. Peace.